This should be good. We should be live in just a couple seconds here on my end. And there we go. So cool. We are live, I believe. Yeah, we are live. Very nice. Alright, what is up, guys? Thrift School over here. Coming at you with a video. The reason why I've been doing live streams in my past two videos is because Adobe Premiere Pro is not letting my videos, or YouTube's not letting my videos get uploaded via MP4. I don't know why. So I'm just doing a live stream because I know it will be uploaded. I have a bunch of things right here next to me that I want to show you. I'll tell you what I paid for them if I could remember. I do have it all written down in an Excel spreadsheet, but I'm not pulling that up right now. And I'll tell you what I believe I paid for it and what it sold for. So let's go to the first thing, which is R-Type Command. It's a PSP game. And I have been getting rid of a bunch of my PSP games. I had a huge collection, hundreds and hundreds of them, and now I'm down to about 5. And I don't even play those 5. Those 5 just weren't worth it, and I found them after I did a huge lot of PSP games. But the rest I have are on eBay, which is probably about 20 left, if that. So R-Type Command, complete in case. This sold for $10.99, free shipping, and I don't... I'm not counting what I paid for these because these were part of my collection, so over the years I've just accumulated these games and I'm just getting rid of them. But one cool tip, if you ever see this brand down here, it's called Atlas. Pick up those games usually. They're worth good money. This one, $11, doesn't sound like good money, but there are a lot of Atlas games that go for the $20 to $40 range. Next, I sold a shirt. Here it is. To be more specific, it's a Charles Tyrant. I believe you can see it. Let me pull up my camera real quick. There we go. Charles Tyrant. I believe that's how you pronounce it. And I sold this guy for $23.99 free shipping. I had my store over the weekend on a 20% off sale to help move some stale inventory. I haven't been listing in my store because I just have a basic store subscription, which costs $20 a month, and I don't want to upgrade to $60 a month yet, just because I don't sell that much on eBay, and that big jump doesn't really matter to me because I can list 1,000 items instead of 250. I usually hit my limit within the last weekish, sometimes a little less, so I'm okay with not listing for a few days, running a sale, and just shipping a lot of stuff. Next, we have another PSP game, Ratchet & Clank, Size Matters. Another complete in case. I don't only sell complete in case games, as you'll see. I'm pretty sure I have a couple here that aren't. So this game went for $11.99, so definitely keep an eye out for that. Free shipping. Next, we have this Tim McGraw Silver. This is a cologne. It says I paid $8 on here, but I didn't. This was half off. I paid $4. Got these a long time ago, and I paid $4. Not a long time ago. They've been selling very steadily because I bought a bunch of them. I had this one 20% off, and it sold for $31.96 free shipping. I have multiples of these, which is really nice, considering I only paid $4 each. Another shirt that sold right here. It's a blue denim. I know you can't see the brand, but whenever you see that, you can't really see the brand, but this is a Pendleton, guys. Very interesting. It says it over here on the chest. There we go. Kind of see it. It's a Pendleton. Very interesting denim look. The logo is completely different. It has a ram's horn, which is interesting. It has metal buttons. And I didn't even, this one I didn't put on 30% off because I just recently listed it. I couldn't find another one like it on eBay. I saw one that sold previously for $25, I believe. So I listed mine at $30, threw it up for $29.99. Pendletons usually go for higher than that, but because this wasn't plaid, it wasn't wool, it wasn't any of that stuff, I didn't know if there would be a demand or a market for it. I probably could have priced it a little higher because it sold in less than a week. And it sold for $30, which was my full asking price. My asking price was actually $29.95. So I'm very happy about that. Happy to get the money there. What else do we have? We have a lot of PSP movies. Now the movies actually still sell pretty well for the PSP if you can get them cheap enough. I remember I bought a bunch of them for 50 cents a piece at a pawn shop. I walked in, they were actually closing, and they had a crap load of PSP movies. They were making bad business decisions, obviously, because nobody is going to a pawn shop to look for PSP movies, ever. Ever. I'm sure they had the exact same ones there since they opened, or since they bought them, but they had a good, a couple hundred of them. So I told them I would buy every single PSP movie they had if they gave them to me for 50 cents each. They originally were asking $2 a piece, which isn't really worth it to buy them and resell them, but 50 cents is. So I sold this lot of 12 for $23.96. So that means I paid $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, $6 for it, and it sold for $23.96, which is pretty cool. And now I sold multiple lots of these, not just this one. All right, next we have another video game, but this time it's for the Sega Genesis. It's called Super High Glide, and it's pretty cool. It's complete. It is a an RPG style game. I don't know. I had it up for a very long time for, I believe, around $30-ish. It just wasn't selling. I had it up for a few months. It went part of my 20% off sale, and it sold for $25.56 free shipping. I got this in a huge lot of video games with at a garage sale, at a tag sale, and I believe I paid anywhere between $1 to $3 a piece, depending on the games. We put together a few different lots. The guy had a huge collection, so that's really awesome. Next, we have another shirt. But the shirt is still in a bin, so I won't show you the shirt, but the brand is Brooks Brothers Black Fleece, which sells pretty well. Now, I could have gotten more if I held out. I had it listed for $40, or $39.95, or $34.95, somewhere around there, and then it was 20% off, and then I got a best offer on top of that, because I forgot I had best offer on this listing, for $26, and I decided just to take it. And I'll explain why I decided to take $26 for Brooks Brothers Black Fleece. The reason why I did that was because the tag was ripped off and the size was ripped off. So I had no size to go by. The tag was pretty much missing. It wasn't ripped off, but it was cut. And so the only size I had to go by was the pit to pit and the sleeve measurement and the full body measurement. That's it. So I just threw those in the description. I said it doesn't have a size, but this is who it would fit. So for somebody looking for a specific shirt, it's going to be kind of tough. So I figured, you know what, I'm going to take the $26. I did pay up on it because I thought I'd be able to get more than that. I think I paid $8 for this shirt, $8 or $9. But I still sold it for $26. It's only going to ship for about $3.40, somewhere around there. But that's okay. I made some money there. Next, another video game, PSP game, Ridge Racer. Really cool game, complete, of course. As you can tell, there is some Sharpie on it. Let's pull up my recording. There is Sharpie on it. That doesn't really affect the price. Some thrift stores I go to, they put Sharpie on all of their video games. I don't know why. They write the price in Sharpie on the game and then put it in the case and put the sticker on the... I guess if you're trying to switch cases, I don't know. But you can't really take it off with rubbing alcohol. If you do, it'll smear some of the paint on there. But sold this guy for $7.95 free shipping. Now, that seems very low. Let's actually go to the next one. I sold this NCAA Football 2007 complete. Sold this one for $6.34 free shipping. And now that seems really low. Well, like I said, I'm considering these games free pretty much because I've had them in my collection for so long. Probably paid $1 for it, maybe 50 cents, something like that. I wouldn't have paid a lot for an NCAA 07 game. Very old game, not really worth much, obviously. So $6.34. You take out the $2.61 it is to ship this guy, and the close to 70 cents in fees. I'm still making, about $2.50 to $3 on this. So, for a free thing, that's cool. I'll take that because I had so many games that it just adds up. Next is a very cool thing. I actually have a bunch of lots of these. These are Playmobil toys. Playmobil figures and everything, but these are the Christmas ones. So there were full sets, full advent calendars. I don't know if you could tell in here, but there's a bunch of pieces. There's a Santa Claus in here. Uh, there's the Santa Claus in there. You can kind of see him. There's a table, all that cool stuff. And this is my lot 4 out of 6. I picked them up for $1 a piece. They were complete in the big box and everything, but I looked online and I saw that the big box, if they were boxed, they weren't really selling. So I figured, you know what? It's going to be expensive to ship this huge box with all these little boxes, because in the advent calendar, it was a giant box with a big background that you could pull out that's cardboard, and then each piece came in its own smaller cardboard box, and you would open it on each day. I thought they were cool enough. I thought they'd be worth mad money. I actually did sell 2 on Amazon FBA around Christmas in the $100 range. So that was awesome. But on eBay, they just don't have a market. On Amazon, they were ranked over 1 million in toys, but I got lucky. I got very lucky. I just sent them in and said, you know what, we'll see what happens around Christmas time. And they sold. The others didn't. So I got them back to me, and I took all the pieces out and I set them up in sort of an arrangement. I set Santa up at his desk and all these toys everywhere, and they happened to sell for $15.99. I had all 4 lots listed for $19.99. They'll ship first class now instead of in that big box, so I'm saving money there. And they weren't really selling at $19.99, but this one sold right when I put it on sale for $15.99. My sale is now over, so that's a shame. We'll see if the others sell at 20 bucks, but next weekend I'll do another 20% off sale. I'll probably even do a little bit more, maybe 22%, something like that, just to try and get some people that are watching my items that want just a little bit lower. They can get a little bit lower and buy them. All right. What do we have next? Okay, we have a guy who bought 2 games from me at the same time. He bought these 2 right here. Split Second and Driver 76. They are both complete. Do they have markings? This one doesn't and this one doesn't. But they're very clean, probably a collector, or he just really likes racing games. Because this isn't a racing game. This is, but they both mostly consist of driving. It's like a Grand Theft Auto clone. So he paid $26.46 for the 2 games. So I can't remember exactly what I had them listed for, but that works out to be about $13.24 a piece. Very, very awesome. Let's see, actually, getting that stacked a little high right there. Next, we have another video game, and this is a sports title that actually has a decent amount of value. This is 2010 FIFA World Cup, South Africa. And now the cool thing about these PSP games, 90% of them will ship about 4 ounces. They'll be 3.9 ounces or 3.8 ounces. A few of them are, because the manuals are kind of heavy, go up into the 4.1, 4.3 ounce range, which means you have to pay $2.77 to ship it. But if it's 4 ounces and under, with the new USPS shipping policy, it only costs $2.61 to ship. So the great thing about these PSP games is they all weigh less than bigger PS2 games, Xbox One games, Xbox 360, things like that. That Sega Genesis game is going to weigh a lot more with the cartridge inside. But this FIFA World Cup game sold for $12.40 free shipping, so keep an eye out on this. I mean, I'd pay $3 for this at a thrift store. That's usually what my thrift stores charge for video games, $3 to $5. At $5, but at $3, yeah. I mean, sold for $12.40 pretty quick, so happy about that. Next, this is an awesome find. I got these Uggs. This box of Uggs. They're brand new. I actually have 2 pairs of them. I have another one still listed. I really wanted them. They are so nice. They're so nice. Ugg Australia. Brand new. So soft. I freaking love these. They're just a little too small for me. That was the only issue. Otherwise, they would have been mine. And these are a size 9, but they've been sitting for a while. And the reason why they were sitting for a while is because Ugg made these slippers kind of screwed up. And I was noticing that when I was looking through comparable listings, everybody puts what the size is, but it fits a size lower. So in my title, I had to put men's 9 fits size 8, because supposedly they fit a size lower. I'm about a size 10 in shoes, 10 and a half, and I could squeeze into a 9.5 or a 9 for a slipper if I really had to. And these guys weren't even close. You could definitely tell they were size 8. So that was an issue. And I bought them anyways because I only got them for $27. Two pairs of them, brand new, $27 each. This one sold for $71.96 plus shipping, so for a total of $86.46. So $27 into that much, which is awesome. I love that, and I still have one more left, so we will wait and see if the other one sells. I do have them listed at $90 plus shipping each. So that one was obviously on sale. See what happens. All right, next we have another PSP game. I know, right? These PSP games crazy, and I still have a box of them back there. This one sold for $10.95, free shipping. Scarface, Money, Power, Respect. Next, I actually picked these up at Walmart because sometimes I go into Walmarts or Big Y or Big Lots or something like that, and I look at the food. I look at the weird limited edition things that aren't going to be everywhere, and they might be, not close to their expiration date. Let's see, when do these expire? October of this year, so still a ways away. These are Hershey's Birthday Kisses. So, very cool there. Let's pull up my camera so I can see. Yeah, Hershey's birthday cake flavored Hershey Kisses. And so I sold a lot of two of these. I picked them up. They were $1.50 each or actually I think they were $2 each, so I paid $4. And I had them listed for about $25, I believe, for the longest time. They just weren't moving, and I said, you know what? I'm just gonna drop the price, and then I put it on 20% off also. So I sold them for $17.56. I'm gonna go in a I would probably fit them into just a regular flat rate envelope. I don't want them to get squished, so I might put them into a padded flat rate envelope. I don't know where they're going to. It'd be bad if they're going to Florida, because they'll probably melt. But yeah, I mean, I either spent $3 or $4 on these guys, and they sold for $17.56. It's gonna cost me around $6 to ship them, so you're looking at $10 plus the fees. So I didn't make that much because I did think I was gonna get more, but I did make some money. So $17.56 might sound good for some Hershey Kisses, but I'm really gonna be getting closer to $5 after all is said and done. I more than doubled my money, which is nice, but I wouldn't pick these up again. I wouldn't recommend it. I bet I could have sold them for around that $20 range, but the reason why they went for lower is because I put them on 20% off without realizing, and they went for a little bit lower. All right, let's see what we got next. We have a DVD. I do sell DVDs on eBay, guys, because you can't really sell them over on Amazon unless your grandfather did. Otherwise, it's very hard to get ungated in DVDs. This one is called Empire of the Ants, and it looks really cool. It's no picnic. It looks cool. I'm totally into this thing. I wanted to watch it, but I'm like, just find it online somewhere if I really want to watch it. I'm sure you can. Somebody really wanted this. This movie actually came out in 1977. This was pressed in 2001. Sold for $11.99, free shipping. I believe I bought this for $1, if I can remember exactly where I got it. I think I know where I got it, so I believe I paid $1. At most, my thrift stores charge $3 for movies. So I could have paid $3, half off $1.50, or if I think I bought it at this certain place, I paid $1. So that's pretty cool. I believe it went from $1 to $12. It's going to cost $2.61 to ship, so I'm in the whole $3.61. Pretty awesome. Next, we have another PSP game, and this is what I'm talking about, guys. I don't only sell complete in case. This is in an old GameStop case. The game is in there. It does say what the game is on the side because this was sold at GameStop. I obviously picked it up there. Really, really, really fun game. I would have kept this, but, I'm trying to make some money on my stuff. Obviously, I'm in a new place. I need to pay the bills, and so I'm just getting rid of some things just to help me out a little bit. This is Metal Slug Anthology. Remember that, guys. This is a good game to find. Metal Slug. Any Metal Slug. They make Metal Slug for PS2, for Xbox, I believe. GameCube maybe. I'm not 100% sure about that. But definitely for the PSP, this one went for $19.99 disc only. Now if I had the game, the manual, the case, it would have gone for much more than that. but 20 bucks just for the game in a generic case is, I mean, that's awesome. Really, guys, you can't beat that. I'm happy about that. And I don't remember what I paid for it at GameStop. Probably close-ish to that, maybe a little bit less. But that was a while ago. So like I said, I'm not counting that in as my product cost. So let's hop on over to, that was everything. Let's hop on over to the YouTube feed so I can read some comments, see what's going on. Not a lot of people because it is early. It's 8 in the morning. But if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Let's see what we got. We got Ian DeLang saying, hey, how's it going? Gutsy Browsing, Magic Eraser gets Sharpie off plastic. Very good idea. Yes, I actually did have a Magic Eraser once, and I was cleaning some shoes with it, actually, the white part of shoes, and it got all torn up. I screwed it up, and I just never bought one again. New to you, CT. What's up? What up, what up? Did I buy those at Marshall's? The Uggs. I did not buy them at Marshall's. I will not say where I got them, because I'm crazy, but no, I didn't buy them at Marshall's. But Marshall's, actually, most of the shoes, when I'm at Marshall's, I will buy them and put them up on Amazon. Now, a lot of people say, hey, you're restricted in Nike. Well, other people, I'm not restricted in Nike. I'm actually restricted in Puma and Adidas. So if there is a shoe that's worth, $100 on eBay, on Amazon, and it's only selling for, $20 or less at Marshall's, look it up on eBay. It might be worth the amount that, it might be worth 80. It's probably going to be worth a little bit less, but it might be worth 80 or, $70. But if you're paying 18 bucks for it, it is worth it. I'm not 100% sure what these Uggs are going to ship for, so we will find out. They're going to go in that priority mail shoebox. I actually need to get one of those, so I can't package that up yet. I'm going to package everything else up and drop it off at the post office. Post office doesn't even open until 9, I believe. Maybe it opens at 8. I don't know. It's Monday morning. So I will package all this stuff up. I can't list today, sadly, because I've hit my listing limits. So they're charging me 20 or 40 cents a listing. I don't know why so much. I think they were charging me 40 cents a listing. It should only be 20 cents. Maybe they're charging me 20 cents. I don't know. But I'm not paying that when all I have to do is wait a day and I can list for free. So I'm going to wait one day. I'll be able to list for free. And I have bags of clothes back here that need to be listed. And all the bins that you see right behind me, that's all inventory that needs to be listed. Every single one of those is unlisted inventory. And there's also extra bags. Now, all my things that are listed are over here. Just quite a good amount of stuff. A lot of expensive stuff that isn't really moving. I have these bins here. Some of them I haven't even opened in months because the stuff isn't selling in there. So I'm going to really have to take a look at my pictures, take a look at my descriptions, because a lot of the stuff is when I first started selling clothing. I took 0 measurements, so no pit-to-pit sizes. The pictures were on wood, background, kind of dark, kind of shadow. And now I have a mannequin, so the pictures could definitely come out much nicer and clearer and cleaner. So I'm going to have to try and mess with that. Probably retake some photos of some older listings that just aren't moving and lower the price on them also. So that's what I got to do. Now that I'm looking at it, I have a lot of things I got to do. So since I can't list, I can package, ship, and rework some old listings. So I believe I will take some new photos today, add some measurements, some pit-to-pit measurements. That's really the only measurement I include. People just want to know how big the shirt is, especially if it's long sleeve. They don't really care, or short sleeve. They don't really care about the sleeve size. Now, if it's long sleeve, some people do care, and if they ask, I'll just take it real quick. But there's really no point. So we see Dumpster Marcus in the house saying, hey, what's up, dude? How's it going? LG187788, aloha from Hawaii. It's awesome, man. You are up either really early or you stayed up really late last night, because it is only 8 in the morning here, so Hawaii must be 7, 6, 5, 4 o'clock in the morning, right? Is that correct? New to UCT says I should include the length too. Yeah, the length is from right underneath the collar fold, I believe, down to the very end. And that is something I've debated doing. It really doesn't take that much extra time to do. And it's easy to do when it's on a mannequin, but I don't know, just because my table is very small here. I could lay it down on the floor. But the pit-to-pit works great. Maybe I'll start including the length as well. I just try to speed up my clothing listings, which is That's probably why a lot of them are still sitting. So I might do the length also. A lot of tall people need to know that size. Okay, I do have a lot of LL Bean size large, tall, or extra large tall that haven't been selling. So maybe that is why. So I think I will include the length. I'm going to have to watch a video on how to properly measure the length. I believe it's from the bottom of the collar all the way to the tail end of the shirt. I don't think you go all the way up inside the collar. Pretty sure it's right from the bottom. Or maybe it's from the top of the collar. I really don't know. So yes, I do need to do that. We have a, oh, LG just got out of work at 3 in the morning. That is crazy. It's crazy, man. I was passed out sleeping at 3 in the morning. Only reason why I woke up so early is my dog woke me up to go outside. And at this new place, we don't have a yard. So I have to walk her to the grass that's around the back. And she woke me up at 7:40. I went to bed around 1:30, so I've been running off a lot of less sleep lately. I've been out and about doing stuff, but I'm gonna end this live stream, and I hope you guys got a lot of good info here. I hope you know what to look out for. I mean, Pendleton obviously is great. DVDs, remember, they can go over on eBay, and a lot of PSP games are actually worth decent amounts of money. If you can find games, you know, most people overvalue PSP games, which is really weird. When I go to my thrift stores, they're always under the glass case while the other games are not. I don't know why. I really don't know why they think PSP games are worth more. Probably because they don't get them in very often, because not a lot of people have all these games. Most ones you find are going to be, you know, Ratchet and Clank, or just Clank, I believe, had his own game, and a lot of sports titles, things like that, things that aren't worth that much money. But there are a lot of games. I've sold a few already in the $30-ish range. There are a lot that are worth a good amount of money, guys. So definitely keep an eye out for those. And what was the other thing I sold? Charles Tyrant, which is good. And you know, when you go to your Walmarts or somewhere, or just your supermarket, take a look for limited edition foods. I know I didn't make that much on those birthday cake guys because they're gonna have to ship in a flat rate envelope, but they definitely, you can find other things. I was selling Peeps Oreos that came out. I was buying them for $4 and selling them for $20, and they went in a flat rate envelope also, but I was making, you know, about $8, $9 on that. So very cool there. So if you guys did like this video, please give it a thumbs up before I head out, just to, you know, boost this video a little bit on YouTube so I can get more views on. My last live stream only has about 400 and something views. I notice when I do live streams they actually get less views. I don't know why, but definitely give it that thumbs up and leave comments afterwards if you want any questions to be answered. I try to go through and I try to answer them all. So if you enjoyed it, do all that stuff. I'm going to read 2 more comments and then we're out. Maybe do what Greg does and take your photos with the measurements in the picture. That's actually very interesting. That is a good idea. I may think about that. I do like that idea. LG says he subbed. Awesome, man. Thank you. And new to UCT says those new Oreo candy bars were selling for crazy money when they first came out. Yeah, I actually didn't get on that train, but I have seen them. They're at my store now. They have a mint flavored one, something else. Definitely, when you go into a store and you see a limited edition that is brand new, like, oh, I've never seen that before, take a quick look up on eBay. You know, or if you're approved in grocery on Amazon, but I noticed that on Amazon the price tanks a lot faster than it does on eBay, just from what I've noticed. So highly recommend taking a look at it. And also, don't try to sell the singles. Don't try and sell a single pack. Always do lots of 2. You could always get more that way. I was seeing people sell singles between $6 and $8, and I was selling a pack of 2 for $20. So I don't know how they were making money on a single pack. I really don't, but they must have been. So definitely try to look for packs of 2 when you do things. It helps if you're doing candy bars or something like that, because a pack of 2 will still ship first class. Oreos do not. Alright guys, bye. You're welcome, Miss B. Talk to you guys later. Time to package these things up. See ya.